My name is Bethany, and here's what God's done in my life. My husband and I hit a rough patch in our lives and in our marriage a couple years ago. We were running a business and had a couple kids, and the pressures of life were really getting to us. And my husband was diagnosed by the doctor with PTSD, and so all of our focus was going towards helping him get to a healthier place and a more functional place. And so our pastor told us about Rock House, and I gave them a call, and my husband started counseling. And to witness the change in him was a miracle. We'd spent so many years trying to help him be okay and help him be better, and our best efforts weren't working. And so to watch him change from the inside out through doing this biblical counseling course was amazing. And the farther he went along, I started to ask myself, could this work for me too? I had no intention of doing it when he first started. I thought he was the one that needed all the help and had all the problems. As he started to get healthy and he was no longer contributing to the dysfunction in our marriage, it was very apparent what was my contribution. I couldn't hide behind him anymore. I had to come to a place of honesty and realize I'm not doing great either. And specifically, the pain point for me was around dealing with the chaos of having small kids. I was stressed out, anxious, and feeling like it was up to me to change them and ride them all the time, and it just wasn't fun for anybody. I was still dealing with a lot of suspicion towards my husband, judgment, struggling to trust him again. But I was in a place of need. I was in a place of desperation. I knew what I was doing wasn't working. So when I first called in, and during intake, I was asked, why I want to come in, and I just said, I want to have more peace as I parent my kids. I'm tired of losing my cool when they lose their cool, and I'm starting to believe that God could give me more peace in those situations. And I remember her saying, yeah, I think that's something we can help you with. I think that's possible. As we dug into the counseling, I started to notice these subtle shifts in our home. And oddly enough, I found myself disciplining our kids less because they were acting out less. And I believe part of that had to do with me being in a happier, healthier place, that the atmosphere in our home was changing and they weren't feeling that control and stress weighing them down quite as much. And part of what I loved about Rock House too is the empowerment, that there's a level of training me how to do this myself with the Holy Spirit, who's the best counselor. And so even now that I'm finished with the course, I'm having these counseling experiences with God using the tools that I learned at Rock House. An example of that is a few weeks ago, my 5-year-old and I had a week where we were just butting heads all week, and wasn't going well. No one was having a good time. And one morning I just felt the Lord nudge me to sit down, and I started journaling and talking to him about it, and he led me through all the steps that the counselor had been doing in person here at Rock House, and it was just amazing to experience that, and everything changed that day. It was my 5-year-old came out, he woke up and took one look at me and said, "Mom, what changed? Your face looks different." And he knew right away that God had been working on my heart, and that morning I was shocked. And all those tiny moments are what make up transformation and a new life, and they all add up, and it's a very different experience now in our home. And so I feel like that's what differentiates this from a lot of other trainings I've been through or inner healing experiences, is just the level of really, they're holding your hand at the beginning, helping you get through it, and then kind of taking the training wheels off as the course goes along, and launching me into being able to do this myself, anytime, anywhere. Another big change that I noticed was seasonal depression was something I had dealt with for the last decade, and just a general sense of feeling trapped, panicky, and just to have those kind of slowly lift off was really surprising, because it wasn't even something we were necessarily focusing on during the counseling. But it was amazing this year to actually enjoy winter and not feel like I had to escape all the time, not feel like I was just surviving day after day. I feel really grateful towards the Lord for everything He's done in our family. Honestly, He just expedited the healing. I never thought 3 years later we could be in this position of so much peace and well-being. I thought it was going to take decades of counseling and help, and so to see how efficient He was at it and how much He knew exactly what we needed was really incredible. It's built my faith so much in what God can do for me and for everybody, really. I'm convinced that Rock House is laid out in such a way that anybody can benefit from it. I think having a level of desperation really helps fuel the whole experience. I would say try it out. What have you got to lose? If how you're living life isn't working, try something different. The Lord can tailor this course to every situation and every pain and every circumstance that anyone's been through, and none of it's too big or too small for the Lord. And God provided all along the way. He provided babysitters. He provided everything I needed to finish the course. It seemed impossible at first. So I would just say to somebody, pray and ask the Lord if this is what He has for you and if He'll make a way for you. It's for anybody that's hungry for more of God's peace in your life and a deeper relationship with Jesus.